Thank you. All right, so we're back in session, and there is nothing to report at a closed session. So we will be moving on with agenda item number 5, resuming the public session. We will go to Superintendent President. Any additions or changes to the agenda?
No changes or additions.
Okay, so we'll move on to agenda item number 7, recognition of football team and coaches.
Okay, it's our pleasure and honor to recognize the 2017 Merced College Blue Devil football team. And as I'm talking, if Coach Casey and the football players who are present want to come up, and if President Ramirez and Trustee Ochoa would stand in front of the dais, we'll do a presentation. But as all of you know, we had a very successful college football season with a 9-2 record. Very, very close to having an 11-0 record. But I guess for that matter, Coach, it could have been 3-9 too. They were so close, right? 3-8.
Not going to complain.
They definitely kept us on edge throughout the season. But they are recognized as co-champions of the conference this year. That's the first time in 20 years. And second year in a row that our team has gone to a bowl game. It is because of the hard work and dedication of our coaching staff, Coach Casey, and the work he's done the last several years to turn this football program around, and the 5 players who play on the team right here. They have single-handedly
That's really impressive.
All these teams that have 40-plus
only
players
5
on
players.
them. So at this time, I'll turn it over to Trustee Ramirez to make a formal presentation to Coach Casey and the coaches, or the players.
So on behalf of the Merced College Board of Trustees and Merced College, we'd like to congratulate you on an outstanding year, Coach Casey, and the Merced College football team. You have been able to do what a lot of teams haven't done recently, which is put Merced College on a large stage. So you've made us proud. We're proud to be part of Merced College, and you've energized the community in a way that hadn't been done in a long time. So congratulations. We thank you for your efforts. I'd like to thank past President Mr. Gutierrez for having coordinated this. First it was a tailgate, and now it's the presentation. So hopefully we can do it again next year.
Yes, thank you.
So congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations. 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 All right, and then, okay, and then so we have a second one, and this one is recognizing, as an individual, Coach Casey. So Coach Casey has an amazing set of abilities, which is being friendly and nice and appealing, and also scaring the Jesus out of all his players. He has the fine ability to make friends on the field and then get really close to being thrown out of the game. So that's an amazing skill set. We thank you. We congratulate you, and we tell you that we're so proud that you were part of Merced's community and part of the, proud to have you as part of Merced College. So congratulations to you. All right, thank you to these guys. Came back.
Thanks, everybody.
Can we have you come along and shake hands with everybody? We'd like to shake your hands as well.
Great job.
Thank you. Thank you for coming back. Congratulations. Thank you. So thank you very much. Moving on to agenda item B, 2016 Annual Security Report and Crime Statistics. It's football, right?
That's okay.
Okay, Matt Williams, I haven't met everybody here yet, so I'm a captain of the Merced Police Department, recently assigned out here as a director of law enforcement to the college. And I apologize in advance for going fast, because I know we have a full calendar, so we're going to power through this real quick, and everybody has been through the Cleary stuff before. So, we're reporting on our 2016 statistics, and everybody knows that Jean Cleary is a very unfortunate thing that happened back in 1986, where she was the victim of a sexual assault and murder, but it led to the mandatory reporting of statistics for universities and college campuses throughout the nation. And these are your type 1, your class 1 crimes, your big ones: rape, robbery, murder, burglaries, aggravated assaults, those kind of things. And like I said before, it's mandatory to disclose these, which we do, and we publish these on our website. Security policies, crime logs, that sort of thing. I do want to spend just a second though talking about crimemapping.com, because this is a really good resource. We do get calls from people throughout the community who say, hey, my kids are coming here to school, we're renting a house at such and such location, is it safe there? They're not from the community, so they don't know. You can go to crimemapping.com, select Merced, and you can pinpoint your house or wherever. You can draw whatever radius you desire, and every type of crime that you want to know about will be plotted on the map on there. So if you want to know what's happening in your neighborhood, for instance, just go to crimemapping.com, and it will show you all the police calls for service through the Merced Police Department. Victims' rights, this lays out the whole list. It enabled victims to be able to confront their accusers, be informed of the outcomes, those sort of things, maintain confidentiality. The Campus Sexual Violence Elimination, or more it's referred to as a SAVE Act, it requires that the incidents of domestic violence, including dating violence and stalking, be disclosed on there. Fortunately, in our campus here, we have pretty low-level incidents, and we tend to keep it that way. We do have informational packets to hand out to the students, self-awareness classes. We're going to try to put together another, our self-defense class. Unfortunately, our instructor at the Merced Police Department, we do have more, but he's fighting brain cancer right now, but we're going to keep on with that program. And here's where the rubber hits the road. You're told all your life not to be a zero, but here's where you want to be a zero. So if you look at the 2016 statistics, we did not have any incidents on campus that rose to the level of the reporting requirements for the type 1 crimes. So that's pretty good. We tried to get on top of, we do have minor incidents that happen here, and we try to get on top of them fairly quickly, working with the deans and the VPs. Everybody's really good about working together and reporting these incidents. And they break them down into categories, even as far as specialty types of arrest, whether it's a hate crime involved. But the best thing, like I say, about this whole thing is that it's zeros across the board for us for this year. This talks about the Senate bill that went into effect signed by Governor Brown in 2015. And with that, if anybody has any questions, fire away.
So thank you for your presentation. Questions from the board?
Thank you very much for your presentation, Mr. Williams. And impressive record, and I agree, I like all the zeros. I just want to know, are there any needs that we need to be aware of for the police department? Do you feel we have enough coverage on campus?
We're down an officer right now, and I am in the process of trying to recruit a couple more security officers. We're also in the process of upgrading our camera system. We have found the camera systems to be invaluable, and it's one of the best bangs for your buck that you can get as far as when it comes to security. We have a pretty decent camera system here at the college, though. Personnel right now, it's always an issue with personnel, trying to get the people that you need, but there's only so much money to go around and to hire people, and we all realize that. So we're doing okay. Could use more, but yeah. Thank you.
Great answer.
I won't turn anybody away. If you've got something to give me, send it my way.
Anyone else? All right, well, thank you very much for your presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, agenda item 7C, Classified Leadership Academy.
President Ramirez, members of the board, it's a pleasure to invite Shannon Gregg to the podium. She has been the classified professional leader overseeing a project or an initiative that the Chancellor's Office provided to the community colleges this year, and that was to have a leading from the middle group that would work on a project, but instead of a manager being in charge, instead of a faculty being in charge, the classified professional would hold the reins and really direct and coordinate this. And so as a part of that, she was in a Leadership Academy, and tonight she'll be presenting what they've done and the proposal and the project, and I'll let you introduce some members of your team.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us this afternoon. The Classified Leadership Academy was the Chancellor's Office received a grant through Institutional Effectiveness Partnership Initiative Leadership Grant. It was developed, Classified Leadership Academy. The CLA created to develop a strong leadership teams. The CLA creates a pathway for classified professionals to find their voice in leadership. It was very intensive, almost 4-day training that I went to. We were up at 7 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. And there was about 50, 60 from classified professionals from the colleges all up and down the state. So as Chris said, he recommended me to do this. So I was the leader of my team. I got to pick my team, and I picked Jessica Moran. She's the director of the Student Outcomes Transformational Grant. So she was my manager. And my faculty member was Maya Meininger, who's our math faculty here on campus. This was just a picture of the group at Asilomar. I just thought it was fun to throw that in there so you could see all the wonderful classified people that I got to learn a lot from and just really enjoyed a good time. And we all are still emailing back and forth, and this was me back in September. So our charge was to create an equity proposal to further student success. So my team, we met, we had a few meetings, and I gave them the opportunity to come up with their own equity proposals. And so we kind of came up with a list of ones, and we would meet and kind of wheel down that list. And we finally presented 2 equity proposals to the Office of Student Equity, and we were funded for the math department. My proposal was chosen, and this will help redesign the math pathways, which is what they started working on for STAT, STEM, and non-STEM. So this will help support faculty with timelines, activities, and projects. And like I said, it aligns with the Guided Pathways Initiative. So we're very happy to have that done. And then Jessica had also a proposal, and we'll be looking at that, hopefully be able to fund that kind of spring semester. And that is it. Any questions?
Thank you for your presentation, and congratulations on your success and for, taking on this leadership role. It's not always easy. I hope that it was rewarding for you and your team.
It was for me. I hope they were okay with it.
They were smiling with me. They were creeping up on you.
They said they were going to stand way in the back of the room. I'm like, no, no, no.
Any questions or comments from the board? No? Okay.
Can I make a comment about the team? To the board, Shannon, fantastic job. Thank you for taking on this role. Jessica Moran is our director of our BSOP program and oversees the new Interdisciplinary Literacy Center. And my manager, professor of mathematics, is very active in the region and has worked on math acceleration projects and others, and is working with her internal team here. And so thank you for serving on this. We know that you are very busy as well and volunteering your time to be a part of it. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And so now we will be considering presentation D, which is Merced College Employment Outcome Survey. Mr. Anderson?
So I've given Stacy permission to put up the timer.
And I've been given instructions to strictly enforce it.
But Dean Anderson, by the way, board members, this is Dean Anderson's last board member as the Dean of CTE, and so we thought it'd be appropriate for him to go out, at least giving you a highlight of some of the fast track programs and the outcomes survey we recently did. So.
Is that why we have police on standby rooms?
Exactly.
Crowd control.
Okay, welcome, Dean Anderson.
Thank you. I was going to open by thanking the president for offering 30 minutes to do this presentation, but he's already cut me off at the knees. So what I wanted to do and was asked to do was to discuss a survey that we had come out a few weeks ago, but what I wanted to do was to kind of do a little preface to the outcomes survey and talk about just real quick some things that most of you are aware of, and we started a few years back, and that was when we dealt with a TAC grant that we had a while back. And that TAC grant asked us to do some things within career tech ed programs that would speed up the amount of time it took students to get through the programs, to integrate some student services within those programs, to ensure that the students could see a clear beginning and ending to when they get through those programs, and then of course to work on providing some job placement assistance for those. And so what I wanted to do was just give you a real quick, a brief overview of what's going on this day and how is it working, because that was a long time ago when we started doing those. And really the outcome are, and I'm sure everybody has heard and is aware of some of our fast track programs that we have for career tech ed. One of the focuses of this particular survey is, you know, we had back in the day provided really strong services, and a lot of services and focused a lot on the transfer programs, and not quite as much focus was done on our certificate, terminal certificates and degrees. And so this is kind of showing some of the things that have happened since then, to where we really provide great services for these students as well. So I'm just going to go through and just show you some things on programs here before we get into the outcome survey. So, and I'm going to go through these relatively quickly, but as you look at this first set of graph here, this is our welding program. The yellow bar on the graph really focuses on the number or the FTEs that were generated in the programs. And then the green and yellow down here are focused on the numbers of completers. And so one of the first things that we did within these programs is really work on implementing some things that would create greater student success and greater completers. You can see that, that from the time that we implemented these changes, the student success numbers have really grown and gone off the chart. So these first few programs, that's welding, this is industrial electrical. These are the programs that we started with. There was 3 of them through the TAC grant. The third one being the mechanized ag area, but the numbers of completers. And the interesting thing in the mechanized ag that you're looking at here is that's a program that I came out of that I used to teach. And we had already put that program on a 2-semester rotation, but these other programs we have not done. And actually the welding is a 1-semester rotation. But you can see over here where we started putting in some of the embedded student services and those types of things that really took off. Then we started integrating this into some other programs. So this computer networking, the number of completers. That's the CAD mechanical drafting, numbers of completers. You can see as we just skip through these very, very quickly, the numbers of completers in these programs and the amount of student success have really gone up. What this graph doesn't show you, though, is the next step to this, or probably the most important step. As in students that go through transfer programs, one of the most important steps is, did they complete the program and did they transfer? In this case, did they complete the program and did they get a job? Not only a job, did they get a job, but was it in the area they were studying in? And so that's what the employment completion, or the employment outcome survey shows. And so basically what this first pie graph is showing is that anything that's in the green or in the blue were surveys of were they satisfied with the programs and the courses that they took. And you can see an overwhelming majority of them were either satisfied or very satisfied. The next one over here goes over students that are in a job that's either related to or very closely related to where they studied, and we have a very, very high instance of those students that are completing and going into the jobs that we train them in. This is really one that this one over here is one that I really enjoy looking at, because it talks about how long did it take them to find a job. Our students, if you look at this one area here, 25% of them, it took them 0 months or weeks to find a job, because those are students that went directly from their class. The class ended and they went directly into a job, and that has a tremendous amount to do with our workplace internship development center that we put together, where those students are already interviewing for jobs during their last few weeks of class while they're here. And so about 25% of the students that come out are moved directly into a job, and then we have another 40, almost 44% that within 3 months are employed. So the majority of them are employed. Then we have a few here that are 4 to 6 and so on. And then this last graph down here just talks about whether they're working full-time or not. You can see that about 70% of the completers of these programs that are working, like this other graph shows, are working at a full-time job. So the numbers that Merced College shows as far as completers that get on the job is extremely high. And so this is the information that we wanted to provide for you this afternoon. Any questions?
Thank you very much for the presentation. I think that this is a well-known program as a success for Merced College and well-known in the community. So, and part of that, I think, is with your leadership. So thank you for that.
We have a lot of good faculty that work in this.
And that's what a good leader would say. So do we have any comments or questions from the board?
I have a comment that I'd like to make. I have a nephew who went through the welding program here, and he's one of the 26% that found a job right after completing the program. So I applaud Dean Jim Anderson for all the good work he's doing over there. You know, it's had an impact, on my family, so thank you very much.
That's why we do what we do. Sure, thank you. Okay, thanks.
Impressive indeed. Okay, so now we are moving on to constituency reports, and we're starting off with Academic Senate. Welcome, Julie.
Hello. So at our last Academic Senate meeting, we voted to have, had elections to have Caroline Dawson be our next Senate president. So for the next academic year, this 18-19, she'll be shadowing me as president-elect. Then she'll be chair or president 2 years after that. So it's a 4-year commitment, because then after that, she has to help who's ever going to be the next Senate president too. So that's a 4-year term, so she'll be the next Senate president. And then at our last curriculum committee meeting, we chose Lisa Diaz to be our curriculum chair. That'll start in again the fall 18 and goes for 2 years. So that's when election's been going on. And then today on your board agenda, you'll have administrative procedure. I forgot the number, but it's the one on credit hours that's been moving through the process. So we've been busy working on other things too, but those are some of the biggest things that we've been doing.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Academic Senate? No? Okay, thank you, Julie. Okay, next we have Merced College Faculty Associations. And Mr. Mitchell, when you finish your reports, please don't leave the podium.
Oh, okay.
My rule.
President Ramirez,
Yes.
could I ask Patrick if he needs more time?
They don't ask anybody else. I think 3 minutes will suffice. I will make it suffice. So I just have, first of all, congratulations, Trustee Ramirez, Trustee Ochoa, Trustee Jordan, on your new roles. Thank you, Trustee Gutierrez and Trustee Lashbrook, for your service in the last year. So I have a few cool things going on with the faculty that they were anxious to have me share with you, starting with Scott Coran over at the Los Baños campus. They're having a very successful toy drive. He says the most successful one yet, and he wanted to acknowledge Karen Deeming, who is one of our new part-time sociology faculty over there, who hooked them up with the Seroptimists. They had worked with the Salvation Army, and now they're working with the Seroptimists, so that's going very successfully. I'm happy to see Professor Curtis Nelson here somewhere. He wanted me to tell you about the Merced College Chorale concert that took place a couple of weeks ago. It was very well attended and featured a guest choir from El Capitan High School. This is part of the Music and Arts Department's efforts to reach out to local high school musicians and artists. The concert, conducted by Professor Nelson, culminated in over 60 college and high school singers on stage performing to a standing ovation. So congratulations, Professor Nelson and the chorale. On Wednesday, another part-time faculty member, David Abbott from Administrative Office Management. Last Wednesday, December 6th, he invited 5 local Merced County business professionals to conduct mock interviews with the essentials of business communication students. It was a great opportunity for students to gain practice and feedback on their job interviewing technique, as well as a great opportunity for students to network with local business professionals. And finally, Professor Mai Meidinger, who you saw up here just a few minutes ago, wanted me to let you know that the math department, we're going through the process of redesigning the math sequence. This conversation started about 3 years ago and was also with AB 705 to redesign remedial education, which the English department has already started, so math is working on that now. So we have 3 new developmental math courses that we will start offering next year, and we are also retooling 3 of our transfer level courses. So those are some of the things going on, and we are deep in the thick of finals week. And thank you very much for a great semester, and as ordered, I will stay here.
Thank you for your presentation, Mr. Mitchell. Before he leaves, is there anybody who'd like to ask any questions about his report? Okay, Member Jordan?
Yes, I made a request to make a little speech right now before Patrick is seated. As a fellow musician, a week ago, Sunday afternoon, I witnessed something that has always impressed me each time I've seen it happen. We had at our church the sing-along Messiah. And the Tuesday before the Sunday afternoon performance, it was found out that the gentleman who was going to do the bass solos was not going to be able to do it because of different complications that had entered his life. And so I go there and I always sing in the bass section. And I looked up at the 4 soloists, and I thought I recognized all 4 of them, but there was one that kind of stood out, and that was Patrick Mitchell, who on Tuesday agreed to sing the bass solos for the wonderful Messiah. And I will tell you, if you know anything about the Messiah, those are very challenging solos to perform. And from Tuesday to Sunday, it was marvelous. And I wanted to brag on him publicly, because I think we fail to do this when it happens. And it also reinforced something that I strongly believe about the people who work at Merced College. They are not single talented. They are multi-talented. I know that Patrick does a great job working in the math department, and I think it might have helped him a little bit with some of the rough passages where you had to really know your counting in order to succeed. But Patrick, I was very, very proud of you. And I did not want to miss the opportunity to let other people know that I was impressed, and I'm always impressed when someone steps beyond the parameters and takes on a major challenge that many people would say, you know, not for me. And you were very, very good. And I am proud of you, and Merced College should be proud that you had a math professor who performed in the Messiah and did it well. Thank you.
Well, I really appreciate that. It was a lot of fun. It was, I kind of wondered what I was getting myself into, but I would be remiss if I did not mention that I was actually one of two Merced College faculty on the stage. The soprano soloist is one of our part-time music faculty, Lorraine Walsh. Is also a Merced College faculty member. Okay, she had a little bit of a head start on me. Thank you very much.
I was very proud of her also.
Thank you, Patrick. All right, so
Thank you,
next-
Madam President, for giving me that liberty.
You're certainly very welcome. So now we have classified session.
Good afternoon. Good to see you again. First of all, I would like to congratulate Shannon and her team, Jessica and Mai. We are very excited. Thank you, Chris, for giving the classified personnel this opportunity, and congratulations on getting your project funded. That's very exciting. Along the same lines, we have opened up a portion of the funding we got from the College for Professional Development to individuals who are attending a class, going to a seminar, going to a conference, whatever, as supplemental funding. If they can't get all the funding they need from their departments or categorical, we will be able, hopefully, to help them. So we're hoping to be able to extend professional development with that. We are also have begun planning for our Classified Professional Development Day. And once again, we are changing the structure. We'll have workshops on campus in the morning. Then the afternoon, we'll be going out to the lake and doing some team building and other activities. So we're very excited about that. That will be on Friday, April 6th. And you will all receive an invitation. And that's all.
Well, thank you very much. The presentation. Next, we have Classified School Employee Association, CSCA. Okay, they're not here. So Police Officers Association, they're not here. They're left after Dean Anderson left peacefully. Okay. Next we have Management Association.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Management Association, we want to congratulate our new officers among the trustees, Trustee Ramirez and Trustee Ochoa and Trustee Jordan, and we wish you well in those new roles. And as Patrick mentioned, we want to thank Trustee Lashbrook, Trustee Gutierrez, and Trustee, who was the secretary? Trustee Ramirez, you're still there, as the clerk, for all that you've done on behalf of Merced College. Our Management Association, I don't think I'm the only member of our Management Association who is looking at the calendar and finding myself to be a bit startled that not only the semester but the year is coming to an end. It's been a great semester, it's moved very quickly, and for our Management Association meeting coming up this Thursday, we're going to stop and take a breath and enjoy some time together and some fellowship. We typically look at some training opportunities and some opportunities to interact with members of our community. But for this Thursday, we're just going to spend some time together enjoying one another's company and welcoming some new members of the management team and wishing well some who are leaving us. In the upcoming semester, I think one of our key initiatives that our Management Association members will be part of is working with our colleagues among the classified professionals and faculty on an application for a Title V Strengthening Hispanic Serving Institutions grant application. These are a significant endeavor for Merced College or any college that undertakes them, and we're all looking forward to participating in the process of developing and designing a plan that will help our college to be able to grow in some areas that include distance education and others. And we're looking forward to a collegial environment by which we can put together a very competitive grant proposal for that effort. New things also coming up in the spring, new initiatives that will involve both our Management Association and our faculty to grow programs, instructional programs, and to reach out to parts of our community that we're newly entering into, some of our high schools, some of our underserved communities, as well as looking forward to a good semester right here on campus. So thank you all and have a very happy holiday.
Thank you, Shannon. Always informative. Okay, so next we have Cody. He already knew he was up. Okay, so Associated Students from Merced College.
Good afternoon, board. I'd like to say congratulations to the new board leadership. Just let you know ASMC is not going to take it easy on you. We'll be watching.
It's all right, we can fight back.
Good. So we have been pretty busy this last month of the semester. Just this last Thursday, we had our Project Christmas event where some of our members dressed like Santa Claus. I was a reindeer, and we delivered toys to the children of the Child Development Center. That's always a really great event, so the children were happy to be able to see Santa Claus. This Saturday we had our annual holiday meal where we actually got together, members of ASMC, and cooked a meal for members of the community. We cooked a lot of food. Unfortunately, not a lot of people showed up to the actual event, but we adapted and we called local shelters in the community, and they came and tipped most of the food, so nothing really went to waste. We were always happy with that. Earlier today we had our ASMC final. Our advisor Yu Yang taught us how to make egg rolls, so please excuse my messy shirt. I was cooking before this meeting. Later on the consent agenda, I believe, is MC 3039. This is a request from ASMC to contract with our parliamentarians from the Student Center for California Community Colleges. They'll be offering 2 trainings, one on Brown Act, one on parliamentary procedure. I believe the dates are January 30th and February 6th, and we would very much like to invite the board and any administrators or faculty to attend those trainings. Part of that contract, they will also be giving us unlimited drafts of our governing documents, our constitution and bylaws. So ASMC hopes that you approve that tonight. Moving forward to the next semester, we're really going to focus on trying to train and bring up new members of ASMC so that they can kind of hit the ground rolling for the next school semester. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That concludes our constituency reports. Moving on to